welcome back to another video. Thanks for stopping by. So I guess you're probably looking at this tray and thinking, girl, what the hell just happened? Because I'm looking at it and thinking, what the hell just happened? And I can't explain. Here is my monthly tray, and pushed all the way in the back, neglected, is my project pan for 2025. And I tried. I really am trying to finish my project pan, and I thought that I could finish it for April of 2025, and then I got bored. What can I say? I have the attention span of like a fruit fly, and I just, you get a little tired of wearing the same ones in your rotation. At least I should say I do. I like having variety, and I like all of my perfumes. So after like a little while, I was like, ugh, I'm tired of wearing the same like 6 fragrances, because I only have like 7, 8 fragrances left in my project pan. I completed like 3 or 4 of them, and so that's out of my collection now. But I was like, I just want to move on, and then try my new month. So about halfway through March, maybe like early March, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to start a new tray. But that doesn't mean that I would not continue working on my project pan. I'm going to, take my time with this one. I'm still going to focus on completing them for the year of 2025. I just realized like there's no rush. It's not a race. I'm not competing against anybody besides myself. I'm just using up what I have and just kind of minimizing my collection a little bit, slowly but surely. And I have actually, in the beginning of like 2025, I had, or maybe end of 2024, I had like 125-ish. Like around 100, 120, 125. And I've now finished 3 full bottles. I've sold some, and I have decluttered a couple, the ones that, I had made a video before. So I'm currently down to 115, and I'm quite proud of that. I know it seems like obnoxious to have 115 perfumes, but it's my life, and I like fragrances. It's one of the things that bring me joy. I'm just working on cutting back for the year. And actually, I've been seeing like that's a trend, and I think that's an amazing trend. I've explained in like another video, or maybe I made like a little mention of it, that since November of last year, November of 2024, I put myself on a no buy, so I have not purchased a perfume then. October, I was like a little heavy on the hauls. I think I bought like 6 or 7 fragrances that October of 2024, and then since then I haven't bought anything, which is really hard because you see all the Christmas deals, the Black Friday deals, the New Year deals, Valentine's Day, spring deals, it gets to you. Sephora and Ulta have their seasonal sales, and I have not purchased a single one, not a single one. I even saw like Joma Shop was having some pretty good deals, and girl, I did not, I was not tempted, not at all. And it gets a little tough because, like I said, I like to have variety. I like to try a lot of new things. But this year I'm just practicing. I'm, putting a pause on my overconsumption and spending, but practicing overconsumption in what I already have. I'm just using up what I like. And that's why this month, I focused on like more of an aesthetic tray, kind of make it pretty and pink. So let me clear up a little bit of this tray here. I'm going to clear out some of my project pan stuff, and I'll focus on my March 2025 tray. All right. Now that I've cleared up the space a little bit, not that it looks a little better, but in my eyes it does, we can focus on my March 2025 tray. And the assignment for this month is pink. Like in Mean Girls on Wednesdays, we wear pink. Well, in March, I'm wearing pink fragrances. I was inspired by Amy Glam's monthly tray. I think it was her January or February tray. I think it was her February tray, where she said that she just wanted to focus on, girly fragrances, things that made her feel good. Fresh, fruity, shampooey, pink, like just things that made you feel good to be a girl. And I thought that was the cutest thing. I absolutely loved it. And I was like, you know what? I like that scent profile also. I identify as a woman, so I also like that scent profile. And I noticed in my collection that I have a lot of pink bottles because I think marketing. So I figured, let me compile that into a cohesive tray. Usually my monthly trays, I just go based off of vibes and feels, and I just pick whatever I kind of want to wear for that month relative to the season as well. But I thought I'd make it a little more aesthetically pleasing. We're doing pink for the aesthetique. So let me not chatter on. Let me get to the first one. And I should say, I love a lot of these fragrances. I would like to say 99% of this tray are some of my faves because I gravitate towards this particular scent profile. A lot of florals, freshies, things that make you think of the color pink. First one, as guys, if anybody's been watching my channel for a little bit, this is Coach. This is the Eau de Toilette, and this is a beautiful citrusy fresh rose. I love wearing this during the springtime. It's an easy year-round wear. This is just one of those scents that it's easy to put on. It smells a little, a little shampooey, a little fresh, a little clean. It's very bright, very uplifting type of scent. And like I said, this is an easy daily wear. For me, as you can see, this is 100 ml and I'm pretty much halfway through it. Sometimes I have to stop myself because I really don't want to finish it too quickly. And for this month, sometimes I feel like I didn't reach for some of my fragrances enough because I love them all so much. And there's only so many days that I could wear a fragrance. Another long time love is Chloe's Signature. This is one of your classic fresh, clean roses. I don't mind if the bottle is so tarnished. This is part of the bottle's, what do you call it? This is part of the bottle's look. It's meant to tarnish over time to give it a vintage, a vintage aesthetic, which I think is very cute. I actually quite like that because it gives it a little rough around the edges. It looks well loved, something that you could find in a vintage shop. Now, while it looks vintage, I don't think it smells vintage. It actually has quite a classic, very classic fresh rose scent. It's a little green. It's a little sweet. Little powdery too towards the late dry down, but predominantly a very fresh, clean, almost aquatic rose scent. Think of it like a very almost like a rose water. You've just came out of a very fresh, cooling, refreshing rose bath or something. And I absolutely love this fragrance. And a little goes a long way because this is actually quite a strong fragrance. You wouldn't think for it being a floral, it's that strong of a fragrance, but it does. It lasts me all day through work and then a few hours afterwards, pretty much until I'm showering at night. Beautiful, beautiful scent. Another favorite of mine. This is going to be a repeating trend. This is Flower Bomb Dew by Viktor and Rolf. And this is Flower Bomb, so very, very, very heavy floral, but this one focuses more on iris. There is a lot of iris in this, so it gives it a very powdery quality. Like if you can imagine a big pink makeup powder puff, that's what this smells like to me. Like, I don't know if you ever see like when the women, like they dust their décolletage and neck with like those big glittery powder highlighters. That's what it makes me think of. It almost, and the way that this powdery quality is, it does remind me of makeup. This is so pretty. This is honestly a pretty girl fragrance. It's pink, it's fun, it's flirty. I absolutely love it. New to my collection. Now this one I had purchased maybe last year, actually. I purchased this from Joma's shop with my Replicas coffee break. So I kind of purchased two fragrances. This was the first time I've ever bought anything online, so I only, purchased two. And I really wanted the coffee break, and they were having a sale. And, it was one of those things where you had to reach a certain number in cost, and then you can get an additional discount. So I thought, you know what? Let me add Lovely. It was only $20. It was a gift set that came with a matching body lotion. So I purchased that with it, and I am familiar with Lovely because I had a little travel size maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I will say that when I first tested it 2 or 3 years ago, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I was very put off by the scent. I was unsure of what I was smelling at first. And then I don't know what happened. One day, it was like a snowy day, and I took a nice hot shower after work. And I put the little tester, the roller ball on, and I was just sitting and watching TV, and I kept getting like this whiff of something so good. And I was like, there's no way that it's this perfume. And I'm like sniffing my arm, like, oh my God, now I get it. It truly is a lovely scent. It smells like a fresh, clean, musky, woody, floral fragrance. It's almost like if you had a very sharp lavender soap, but it wears off over time, and all you're left is this scent of like clean skin with a hint of lavender. This is lavender done right, in my opinion. My only critique about it is the opening is a bit rough. Truly, the opening is a little rough. There is a martini note in it, but it does come off very strong, very astringent, and like a blast of alcohol. Now, I'm not sure if it's just because it's an affordable fragrance. It's an affordable celebrity fragrance, so it's probably going to have like a higher alcohol concentration. But when it smells like just rubbing alcohol at first, and then combined with like the lavender and the citruses in the opening, it can be very sharp on the nose. But the magic is truly like in the dry down. After like 10-15 minutes, it warms up beautifully on the skin. It really smells like a very clean, musky scent with just a hint of wood in the dry down. It very similar, I will say, to Replica's Lazy Sunday Morning. However, this one is a little sharper, like a little more of the freshness. Lazy Sunday Morning, I'd say, adds more to the florals. This is just from my memory because I had a little tiny mini. I had like the little mini dabbers that I would test from time to time. But I absolutely love this. This was a full bottle at the early beginning of March, and I just keep wearing it for bedtime. It's one of my favorite bedtime scents. And it pairs nicely with the lotion. Now, I don't usually care for fragrance lotions like this. I wear unscented lotions, nice thick creams that's gonna, penetrate my dry and ashy skin, as you can see. I feel like especially because I'm black, you can see like the ashiness. Wintertime is brutal for me. But this was nice to layer just for like an additional scent. Now, a fragrance that is new to my collection that I didn't like. Dun dun, I know. That sounds controversial. Like I did not enjoy this fragrance. This was a blind buy mistake, an impulse mistake, and I'm learning my lessons from it. This is Manifest Your Happiness from Curations, The Good Scent. And like I said, I had no business buying this. This was back in October when I was on like my little shopping spree for reasons that were. I bought it at Marshall's for $15, you know, like any of their affordable unboxed scents. And I had good I had a good wear with the Manifest Your Future, or Manifest Your Future one, the one that smells like apple cookies and whatnot. So I figured, you know what, let me try this one. The notes sounded pretty decent. Plum, lime, lavender, coconut, white orchid, vanilla, and some wood. I was like, okay, it sounds good. And this was on me, you know. I had tested it, like just a little quick spritz in the air and like kind of waved my hand around. And, you know, it's not like a true skin wear test. And I thought it was good enough. It kind of reminded me of the pink Sol de Janeiro, Cheirosa 68, I want to say. The pink Sol de Janeiro bottle. It reminded me a little bit of it. Maybe a hint more of that vanillic, sweet, airy cloud-like DNA. So I thought, you know what? I liked Cloud. The Cheirosa 68's not bad. It's not one of my favorites from that line of body mists. And, you know, $15, hey, what's the harm? Girl, I tested this. I shouldn't say tested it. I gave it like a full wear and spraying like a body mist because they're, you know, $15 sprays. And on my skin, it was not a match made in heaven. I could smell like the fruitiness in it, whatever plum and lime, whatever it was, but it was a fruity quality that went very sour and not tart, because I do like tart, like crisp, clean fragrances. This went sour. Think of fruits that are overripe and towards the end of their life. Like, you know, the forgotten orange left in your fruit basket, or the banana that's sitting a little too ripe, the plum that is like just too ripe, and then when you press it, it leaves that indentation and it's mushy. Like that. That's what I was getting with this, and I was completely turned off by it. I did not like it. I did not enjoy it. And it's a sweet fragrance, but sweet in a way that hurt my stomach a little bit. And this was just, I think, how it mixed with my skin, because I was clean skin, showered, whatnot, and I like I said, sprayed it as normal, and I did not like how it developed on me. In the air, it's nice, it's decent, but yeah, this was a lesson learned. I will, you know, maybe I'll probably like just give this away. It's so affordable that I'm not even sure if it's worth reselling, truly. And I only wore it once. There's no dent. So shame on me for an impulse buy. To anyone that's watching, you know, take that as a lesson learned, because I certainly learned my lesson. Now, again, I'm not trying to like shit on this fragrance. It's not like, it's truly not a bad fragrance. I think it's just how it wore on me. It's not for me. Enough negativity. Back to some positive notes, because again, like I said, 99% of this tray was top 10. Next is Gucci Bloom. This is a classic in my collection. I've loved this since it came out, since it was first released, and it just took me a long time to pull the trigger and purchase it. So I purchased a full bottle. I've owned many flankers from it, 2 or 3 of the flankers, and if I could, I would buy all the rest of them. I always say this is a beautiful white floral. This is a white floral, true and true and true. This is an obnoxious white floral. It's jasmine, it's honeysuckle, it's tuberose, it's tuberose, it's tuberose. It's a very beautiful, fresh, clean, green, spicy white floral. Like think of smelling a bouquet of flowers. I love it during springtime. And I know, like, oh my God, florals for springtime, how original. But I guess, call me a basic bitch because I love wearing florals for springtime. Absolutely loved wearing it. And, this wears beautifully in the air. It leaves a nice little scent trail anytime I'm walking. Someone that said, oh my God, is that you? It smells so good. What is that? What are you wearing? It's a very nice fragrance. I only got that compliment once because I'm not many people I want to compliment, but a little goes a long way with this too. Too much, and it is, like I said, too much. It's an obnoxious white floral. A little goes a long way with Gucci Bloom. Another very pretty white floral that I enjoy wearing, and I feel like this is like the epitome of girly and pink. Just look at this bottle. It's like this prettiest baby pink. This is Coach Dreams. This is a gorgeous pear and gardenia. So this one's more leans towards gardenia. Pear, gardenia, and ambroxan. And I think there's a cactus note in it as well to give it some green quality. This is so nice. Sometimes I feel like it borders on like a little generic, I will say. But like Coach, the Eau de Toilette, this is a fragrance where it's a very easy wear. This is just something that you put on. It's a dumb reach. You don't have to think too much about it. It opens up very juicy with pear. I get pear. I think there's another fruit note, but I truly just get a lot of pear. Kind of similar to how like Jimmy Choo's floral opens up with a lot of pear and nectarines. This one opens up with pear and some other fruit. And then it transforms into a beautiful, slightly green, creamy-ish gardenia. And then there is quite a bit of ambroxan in the dry down, so it does have that airy quality to it. Not so much that it smells like cloud, but it has that molecular, ambery, almost musky quality to it. I love wearing it. I will say that I do prefer the Flanker Dreams Sunset than the original Coach Dreams, but this is still, like I said, a very fun and easy reach, very girly, very flirty. Longtime favorite, I had this one in my collection for a while. This is Banana Republic's Peony and Peppercorn. This is predominantly a peony. I get a little rose in this as well, with a very spicy opening. And I think some wood and musks in the dry down. This is very similar to Versace's Bright Crystal. This is a very fresh, clean, spicy floral fragrance. It almost smells like shampoo, like a really nice, clean shampoo. It's a little aquatic and a little sweet. I think these are supposed to be like unisex scents. I can see that, but truly I like wearing it because the pink bottle is to die for, the baby pink bottle. And then it truly smells very, it does lean a little feminine. I'm halfway through this bottle here. I don't know if you can kind of see the line, but I'm halfway through it. And this is, I truly love a lot of the Banana Republic's Icon line. They released 3 or 4 more, and I'm curious to try a couple of them. I did purchase one back in October, the Tuberose Overdose, and that one's very lovely. I can't wait to try that one when the weather gets a little warmer. Another longtime favorite, I think I've talked about this one also ad nauseum. This is Burberry's Body. This is the Tender Flanker, and this is a beautiful aromatic fresh rose fragrance. I didn't give this one enough wear, if I'm going to be honest, because again, I had so many other loves. So this one took a little bit of the back burner, but it doesn't mean I love it any less. It just smells so good. It's again, one of that classic, clean, fresh, almost aquatic roses with more of an aromatic quality to it. I think there's Oh, I can't remember the notes off the top of my head, but that's okay. I'm not going too much about notes. And last, oh, I shouldn't say last but not least, but another perfume that I have loved. This one was a repurchase. I had it in my collection and stupidly decluttered it because I don't know why. I genuinely just don't know why. I think I had an original Viva La Juicy and I finished that one, but come to realize that I like the La Fleur Flanker a lot. This is a more watery, floral, fresher version of Viva La Juicy. So Viva La Juicy has a lot of like that candy sweetness to it from a lot of their gourmand base notes. This one lessens up on that gourmand quality and just adds beautiful, like, airy quality to it. And hello, this bottle is just so stinking cute. I feel like this is like the epitome. All the Juicy bottles, like, they're the epitome of girliness, and I love that. Oh, I will say that I paired the Viva La Juicy with a sand and fog oil. I paired it with this sand and fog oil called Enchanted Blossom. This was an impulse buy, but this was a good impulse buy. This was a nice impulse buy. And I bought this during that, bad period in time back in October. But this is a really nice scent. On the Sand and Fog website, they said that this is supposed to be inspired by Gucci's Gorgeous Flora. Gucci Flora Gorgeous Gardenia. Okay, let me try saying that 3 times fast, gosh. Gucci Flora Gorgeous Gardenia. So, but really, this just smells like Viva La Juicy to me. And I feel like I've been duped. If, Gorgeous Gardenia smells like Viva La Juicy, why would I spend that much when I could just get Viva La Juicy? I don't know, but that's just my thought process. Now, granted, I don't need either of them, because I have my Viva La Juicy La Fleur, which I absolutely love, and I have this little perfume oil, because I will say that while, the La Fleur, it is a fresher take on Viva La Juicy, it does not have that same amount of longevity as Viva La Juicy does. As we all know, like, Viva La Juicy will last you a good long while. So I layered it with this one just to give it a little boost, little oomph. Some other Sand and Fog oils, because like I said, I truly like their oils. I think that they make really, really good inspirations, and they're very affordable, and I like being on the hunt for them. Not anymore, because I'm on my no-buy, but it was fun, looking around for their fragrance oils and testing out and kind of guessing, like, ooh, what is this one? What does this one smell like? What is this one inspired by? I didn't get a chance to test these but to wear these two. I wore these a lot last year and last fall, and I do like to layer them. So that's where a lot of their dent comes from. This is Bloom, which is inspired by Marc Jacobs' Daisy Oh So Sweet. And this is Fleur de Vanille, which is inspired by Carolina Herrera's Good Girl Blush. And I put these two, even though they do not match the pink aesthetic, when you smell them, they smell quite pink, if that makes any sense to anybody except me, besides me, I should say. And when you think about it, like, the original bottles that these fragrances are inspired by, they're pink. They fit that aesthetic. But I didn't get a chance to wear them. What I did reach for a lot was this one. This is Rose and Currant, and this is a delicious rose fragrance. Like, if there were ever a floral dessert, that's what this would smell like. Now, it's not so much that it smells like a dessert. This is just a very sweet rose fragrance. It's a heavy rose fragrance. Like, smelling it again, this is inspired by Nest's perfume oil, the Nest's Turkish Rose. And I smelled it once many years ago, like no, like 3 years ago at a Sephora. And I was just, and as much as I do enjoy like their perfume oils, I'm not spending that much money for a perfume oil, so I never bothered smelling it again. And I completely put it out my mind. But when I picked this up, I wasn't expecting it to smell like Nest's Turkish Rose. And if that is what it truly smells like, I can see why that perfume oil is so popular, along with their Madagascar vanilla. This is so good. This smells like a big heaping spoonful of like macerated roses that's been cooked in like a sugary syrup, and with like red currant berries, and it's created like a beautiful jam that you would probably spread on like anything. It smells truly delicious. Now, I'm not trying to like overhype. I ain't trying to overhype a fragrance oil, because it's not that deep. But I myself personally like it. I love rose fragrances, and this is a beautifully done rose fragrance. What this also smells like when wearing it on the skin, it's very similar to Coach's Wild Rose. Like as I was wearing it and as I was smelling it and through its dry down, it really reminds me of that opening from Coach's Wild Rose, where it's like that beautiful, like tart, fruity, like rose jam opening. This is nice because it doesn't have that ambroxan bomb base that Wild Rose has. I loved layering this with peony and peppercorn. I liked wearing this with Chloe. I liked wearing it by itself, especially by itself. I think this is a great little fragrance. And I bought this one in like it was like a little variety pack, like a little sample size. And to be honest, I think I'm happy with this small size, because I say this a lot, but this is just me. A little does go a long way. This is one of those floral fragrances that too much and you will go into headache territory. Like you put it just like maybe one roller on too much, or maybe just a little, if you go on a little too heavy handed with this, it's gonna go into headache territory for me. But just enough, and it creates like just a beautiful little aura of rosy goodness. So yeah, enough harping about that. This was like one of my favorite months. This is one of my favorite trays that I've had. It's just nice to kind of accept and embrace just that little fun girly side of you, and just to truly like have fun with wearing your fragrances. I treat my fragrances like a wardrobe, and the same way that I would probably wear my clothes and mix and match. And one day I'm feeling maybe one day I want to wear a more masculine leaning fragrance, maybe one day I want to go towards a little more feminine leaning fragrance, and I leaned in heavy this month. Tell me what you guys think. Who else is doing like a tray like this? This is my first time doing an aesthetic tray, and it's really nice to see it a little cohesive like that. Talk to me in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. I even like had my nails to match this tray, just to kind of get me out of my little slump. Subscribe if you want to. I always appreciate it. And also, I want to say thank you for everyone that has subscribed and that has been watching. I didn't ever think that this would get like 700. As of right now, when I last checked, it was like 720. Yeah, 720 people. I truly appreciate it. I think it can be a little overwhelming. I am quite a very casual YouTuber. I'm not an influencer. I am just another girl who likes perfumes. I'm just a girl. Just a girl who likes perfumes and likes talking about perfumes. And this is a very, very casual, easygoing channel. I just like sharing my little thoughts, kind of like a little diary of some sort. And it's nice to see that, you know, other people vibe with that. Because this is also the type of content that I like to watch. I like to watch the very easygoing, you know, very easygoing channels where there's no expectations on anything. So yeah, sorry for rambling so much. It's gonna be a long video. My bad. But yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.